Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap session for Tuesday, May the 29th, 2018. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. We do create multiple hypotheses. Nobody can tell you what the market's going to do. Therefore, we create plans based on who takes controls. Our Hypo 1 and Hypo 2 are our two main hypotheses, and we wait for the market to open up, see who's taking control, and then execute the plan that best suits the market. Then we have Hypo 3 and Hypo 4, which are our alternative plans or trend type scenarios. Excuse me. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. We do everything live here in the go-to, in the pre-market session, and then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. So let's start with the news. Oh, wait a minute. Let me do the disclaimer. Sorry. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So if we take a look at the Friday plan, we were talking about the possibility of having an inside sideways day with a slightly upward skew. Basically, Friday was dead. Just basically went sideways, went nowhere, had an inside day. Now, not so much for the Globex. The Globex has had a big, huge move. Somebody was saying it was predicated something about Italian debt, but I don't know. But the holiday session, excuse me for just 1 second. Sorry about that. I got this nagging cough that won't go away. The holiday session yesterday, again, was just a weak session. We just went sideways, and we are creating this weak low down here at this 18 area. And remember that 1850 was one of our key lines in the sands below. And we basically, just pushed on it and pushed on it and pushed on it. And then once the European session opened up, they just let it go. And we went falling through. We've had a 41.5 point move. That's greater than the average true range for the day. We've got a double distribution. Now, this LVN, which also happens to be the mid of the Globex session, right now we have a zipper measured move that has got this as a target, and we're likely to come and test the upper portion of this zipper measured move. Let me show you that right now, just to get it out of the way. Here's the impulse wave back up, 8 3/4. Here's the zipper, and then we make the measurement, and the measurement takes us up to the 61.8 extension, and we get a high priority target here at the mid and the LVN of the overnight session. So right now I'd be targeting this. I'm not trading right now because I was getting prepared for this, but if I had a chance to get long, I'd be looking to get long. And right now I would use the 2703 as a place to lean against. That was going to be our key line in the sand above when I started doing my homework. It is going to be our over-under line now, so let me just make that. So basically what that means for me is I'm leaning more to the upside when we're over it, and leaning to the downside when we're below it. So we have a 41.5 point move in the Globex. Let's just take a look at the news. We do have news in 4 minutes. Red Book is coming out, not really a market mover. 9 minutes, we've got the S&P CSHBI composites. Again, not much of a market mover. The big one will be at 10 o'clock this morning, CV consumer confidence, and the 10:30 we have the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Big Business Index, 11:30 the 3-week and the 4-week and the 6-month bill auction. We've got more coming out of ECB at 12:30, and that's it basically for the scheduled news. Of course, there's lots of headline news with North Korea and obviously what's going on with Italy right now and their debt situation. So let's just take a step back. Each morning I like to start my day doing a basic exercise. I go to a simple candlestick chart. I use a 9 EMA, a 20 SMA. I start on the monthly, and I start working my way down in the time frames. So I want to be aware of where we are in terms of the trend. Do we have good slope, good separation? Is price paralleling the 9 nicely? And then where is it going to get tested or challenged, and where could it possibly be changing? And you can see on the monthly, very strong trend up. The last 4 months, we've been testing the trend, but we keep bouncing off of it. And this is important to understand, because even if we dip down into the 2600s, even into the 2500s, the overall longer time frame trend does not get violated. This does not get violated until we get down below the 2500. So just keep that in mind on the bigger picture. On the weekly, you can see that it looked like we were going to roll over. We were going to get a possible start of the downward trend. Then they took it back, and all we've been doing is compressing inside of this large value area that we'll take a look at on the composite chart in just a minute. But we are seeing some weakness. We've lost slope and separation. We're testing the 9 and the 20 right now. It looks like we could get a possibility of a move down. Looking at the daily, again, in this compression, it looked like they were going to continually move back up. We're starting to get the upward trend going again, and we started weakening last week, and now we've come down and we've challenged the trend, and we're below the 9. So I'd be watching again. You can see that the 20 is sitting on that 2703.50. That is important for a whole bunch of reasons, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Going to the intraday, you can see that we have now a start of a downward trend. We do have a bit of a technical gap. A move up into filling that gap is going to take us up into the 1213 area to fill this technical gap, with the move away from the 9 on that Italian news. Going to the 30-minute, you can see that we were getting a nice downward trend, and now they're trying to take it back. They're above the 9 and the 20. So we are going to actually open up in a gap area, or just above this gap area. Again, we've been testing this. Our overnight low has gone down, and we put our overnight low in all the way down here at the 90.25. So let's take a look at the big picture and just narrate this out so that we put everything in context. Long upward trend, put in all-time highs, which are unequalized. We have an all-time high in the Globex at 2883.25, and the all-time high in the regular trading session is 2880.25. They fell out of that balance. They went all the way down to that 2535, actually 2529 in the Globex, and then we start creating this value area. And this value area, this microcomposite, starts from the breakdown day here, the gap down, and on February the 2nd, and we come back up. We try to get back into the 2800s, and we fail right at a prior microcomposite VPOC, and then we come back down. And since we've gotten back into this balance zone, we just been taking a trip up and down and through it. Okay, and it looked like we were going to break out, but they failed at that 4150, 4175 area. That is our value area high up here. Our value area low, it's all the way down at 2628.25. And so far, we have created this new balance area here. Our microcomposite VPOC shifted. Our microcomposite VPOC was down in the 68, 69 area. It has shifted up to the 2718. The microcomposite that starts from May the 10th is also in agreement with that. The two microcomposite VPOCs are basically sitting on top of each other. One's at 20, one's at 1850. And we've got a value area low right now at this 2711.50. But we have come down and tested the microcomposite low from the 5th, and this key distribution area here, key LVN on the bottom side of this distribution, and we tested through it and went down to the first high volume node area, 90 and a quarter, and then found buyers, and now we're rotating back up. And this is, was going to be the key line in the sand above, but now, because we're going to be trading through it, coming into the open, it becomes our over underline. Below it, the first target is the 94.50, the value area high of this microcomposite that starts on the 23rd, and its microcomposite VPOC is still sitting down at the 69.50. But you can see we've got a clear double distribution on the higher time frame with the 2700 to 2703 area as the definitive microcomposite LVN. So that's basically going to give you your clue on above this. You want them looking for a move back up towards the gap fill and this 1175 value area low, and then above that you'd be looking for a move back to the magnet, back to the most traded price going back to February the 2nd and the most traded price recently. So you've got two areas of price acceptance to target if we hold this. Below the 2700, it's clear that they still have to come down and find buyers, and the first destination below is in the 94 to 91 area, which we tested already. The new key line in the sand becomes this 2684.75. Below that, then we're looking for a move back to the most traded price in this distribution area right here, and the microcomposite VPOC, where it was down at the 68.69 and still remains from the shorter time frame. But then we'd be waiting to see if this microcomposite from the longer time frame shifts back down to give us our next clue. So looking at the overnight inventory is pretty much 100% net short. You can take the overnight high as the 24.75 from yesterday's microcomposite holiday session, but I don't. Some people scrub their holidays. I don't scrub mine. My overnight high is going to be the 24 and a quarter, and it really doesn't matter. It's only a couple ticks anyway. But we've got a B-shaped profile with distribution zone up here at the 0950 with the LVN at the 2707 and a quarter, which is our mid from the overnight and is currently our zipper measured move. And that zipper measured move will remain in effect, okay, until we get below the 93.50. Likely going to go and hit that and open somewhere up here in this area. So we have a microcomposite VPOC at 650, and this is going to be a trade area for me. We are going to have a big gap, and you got to take the gap from the Friday close. So right now we got 27.18 and a quarter, and we're currently, if we open up here, it's just going to be approximate because I don't know where we're going to open, but right now we're trading at 27.05. So our half gap fill is going to be 27.11.75 approximately. And that fills that technical gap as well that we were talking about on the 4 hour. And again, we'll have to make adjustments coming into the open. All right, so that basically gives us levels to be looking at. Now, it's going to be important today to watch the first 2 hours, because if we don't go up and fill this gap, it's not likely we're going to see a gap fill. Generally, over 15-point gaps don't have a high probability of getting closed. What are we right now? 27, 18 and a quarter. So 13, we're 13 and a quarter points, and that's going to give us roughly about a 84% thereabouts, 84% probability of not filling the gap. But in this market, anything is possible. But in terms of the hypotheses for the day, we've got to be looking at we've got a big breakdown and likely going to see if they can poke a little bit lower. So it's a tricky situation because of where we are right at a centennial number and the gap. So I put equal weight on my hypo 1, hypo 2, and possibly even hypo 3. So hypo 1 is a open auction, out of range. I'm looking for a move up towards this 11 to 15 area. Our last week low was Friday's low at 1375. I'm looking for responsive sellers to step in. I'm sorry, initiative sellers to step in and take us down through the 2703, push through the gap mid, and come down to this 96.94 area with a late day probe down to take out the overnight low. But I expect to balance out down here and start moving our way back and closing somewhere in around the 2706 to 2708 area. So that is hypo 1. Hypo 2 is a open auction out of range, a move down into the 2703 and the mid, chop in the 2700, possibly a push down into the 96 area, buyer stepping in and rotating us up and coming up into this area up here from the holiday session and closing somewhere in around that 2720, 2718 area and back into this balance right here that we've been chopping in since the May the 10th. That is hypo 2. Because we're going to be opening up with a gap, hypo 3 is a gap and go day. Failure to close the gap, a push down, sellers taking control early, coming down to the 96 area, chopping here, closing this gap down here at the naked close at 96, then failing, pushing through the overnight low and coming down and testing this 84 area, and then just bouncing off of there and closing somewhere around here at the 26.9675. Maybe a late day probe, even a little bit lower down to test the year open, but I don't think so. We've moved 41.5 points already, so I'm not expecting a huge amount of range beyond that. Hypo 4 is a complete take back day, a open auction, out of range, buyers take control early, move us up into the week low from last week at this 1375 area. Okay, chop here, and then continuation up into the 2720 and a push through up into this 27 and the gap that's left up here. So those are my 4 main hypotheses. The 5th hypothesis, because of the move that we've made, we could end up with a doji day and basically a small 10-point range somewhere in the 2707 to 2708 697 area, and we just go sideways, in the session as they balance out down here and fill in this gap. So that is the fifth hypothesis. Going to gold quickly. Wrong gold chart. Gold is, basically stuck again between the 1306 and 1290.80. 1290.80 being the composite VPOC, going all the way back to October the 24th, 2008. Our current balance is still below. You can see the buyers keep stepping in. You can see these buying tails here. They keep stepping in on the lower side of that composite VPOC, and our current microcomposite VPOC is down here at 1288.30. We tried to get above and hold above that 1304. We couldn't. I'm expecting a move back down into the 1290 to 1288 area today. Key level to watch is going to be the 1300. If we get above the 1300, look for them to push up through to test this 04, and we need to get above this and hold and accept 1306.40 again if we're going to get a move back up into that 1819 area. But right now I'm seeing that they're still haven't got the firepower to make a leg up, so it's likely they're going to make a move back to the most traded price. And this time, if this level doesn't hold down here at the 86, then I'm looking for them to push back down into that 79 to 78 area. We missed it slightly on the last push down, but this time I think we could dip a little bit lower, and we could even come back down into the 1269, 1268 area. So that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.